Women who live alone, what do you keep in your home to feel safe? One night I had a nightmare so vivid of someone entering my apartment via my second-floor balcony that I found myself standing outside my bedroom door, disoriented and ready to fight. I had never felt unsafe in my apartment, but that dream really shook me and made me think I needed to be better prepared. I couldn't afford a security system, but I had a bunch of tiny bells left over from a craft project. I tied them at intervals along a long piece of string and hung it on the balcony door in a way that, if the door opened, it would make quite a bit of noise. Old school security alarm. I use a Kevin McAllister-style security system of leaving crap in front of my doors so anyone breaking in will knock shit over and I'll hear it. I've lived alone in a downtown city and out of the city. What made me feel safe in the city was living in an apartment with a door that was inside a building rather than outside. Essentially, you had to have a key or passcode in order to get in, then keys to get in my apartment. However, I lived on the first floor, so I bought a door blocker and would put it behind my door as soon as I got home. I also have a baseball bat near my bed. I would sadly also have my blinds closed. Now, in my current place, I made sure I lived on the top floor and was a two-door building. I still have a baseball bat, but I feel safer than when I live downtown. I usually remember to lock the doors, but that's about it. My dog for tangible threats, and my cats for spiritual threats. I used to keep a baseball bat with a sock on the end near my bed when I lived alone. It's to give you a second chance to swing if someone grabs the bat on your first swing, they'll be staring a rando sock in their hand when you nail him in the balls or face. Thankfully, I never had to use it. I have a lot of strategically placed 3-wick jar candles. I don't actually burn them, they are there for pleasant scent and the fact that they can crack a skull. I had an incident many years ago, and as soon as you start lobbing those things, your target's gonna run. I no longer live alone, but when my husband is out of town, I feel safe knowing that I know all of my neighbors well enough to run to their house at any hour and they'd let me in. I also have 2 fierce guard dogs https://imgur.comico97yda that bark anytime anyone gets near our house. I no longer live alone, but when I did I was very intentional about who knew where I lived and who I brought over. Current and ex-partners are far more likely to be dangerous than random strangers. Other than that, keeping doors and windows locked and alarm doors when needed and maintained a mantra that I've done all I could, and stressing beyond that was no more helpful than being at peace. Living in fear is a prison, my gat and my cat. I don't live alone anymore, but when I did, my dog made me feel safe. Added to add that even living with someone, my dog is a great alarm safety system. When I lived alone in an apartment, I bought men's shoes from Goodwill, left them outside by the doormat so PPL didn't think I lived alone. That my 22 made me feel safe. My dog, large heavy spiky cacti around the windows, and this sounds silly, but I have these enormous heavy bookends with handle-looking things at the top. A baseball bat. Alexa can call emergency services. I read somewhere that someone attempting to break in will not spend more than 5 minutes getting in. Sadly, the point is to make your house less appealing and more trouble to break into than someone else's. My 130-pound dog G. Huge sweetheart unless he thinks you're threatening me. I put dowels in the window sills, lock all the doors, bolt front door X2, pepper spray in the bedside table, sleep with my phone next to me, lived alone with 3 kids for 15 years. Cameras 360 around the exterior of the house with motion lights and alerts, deadbolts on all exterior and interior doors including interior garage door padlocks on the gate to my backyard window, film locks on all first floor windows, compact, modern sporting, and scatter-style defensive tools, CCW permit, very barky dogs, pepper spray in every purse bag, on my keychain, Work lanyard disabled. The auto unlock feature on my vehicles kept my garage clear so I could park in my garage rather than on a driveway street. Good front and rear dash cam with Sentry parking mode feature. Engaged app on my phone to check in with a trusted family member each day. Two-way got to know my next door across the way neighbors and made a habit of letting them know when I would be traveling, expecting visitors, etc. We are blessed to have had the same neighbors on 3 sides for 10 years. This all evolved over time, as I learned from my own and others' experiences. When I met my now husband, he was at first taken aback, but now is as security focused as me, and we've got his mom set up with similar systems and tools. Doorbell camera linked with Echo Show that can snap to a door view, a hockey stick at the top of the stairs, and a hammer by my bed. My mom keeps a giant fucking dog in her home to feel safe, and I gotta say, she really is safe with that big bastard there.